Okay guys, today you are going to be using PIXLR E. We're getting more advanced because what we're going to be doing is practicing removing backgrounds of images. Okay, so you're going to go to PIXLR E for this, and you need to have an image to work with. So for this, you're going to go out on Google and find an image that you would like to remove the background for. So I'm going to do a new Google image search. First thing that comes to my mind is puppy. Puppies are cute. I'm in the mood to look for puppies. I'm going to go to image search. I'm going to find an image of a puppy where I would like to remove the background. So I think I'm going to get this little guy right here. Now, you never want to save from your image search directly, because if we were to save this, this is a very small, low quality file. So you want to load it up by clicking on it, and then maybe even go to the actual site from here to get the higher quality image. So that'll take you directly to the site that picture's on. So once you see that picture, what you can do is two-finger tap and save that image to your Chromebook. So whenever you save that image to your Chromebook, make sure you go to the downloads and give it a name. I'm just going to call mine puppy. I'm going to leave the .jpg because that is the kind of file type that this is. Hit save. I already had one there, so that's why I have to replace it. Now I'm going to head over to PIXLR E. And on PIXLR E, I'm going to open my image. Again, we're in PIXLR E because we have more advanced tools to work with now. So you're going to go to your downloads, open up that image of the puppy or whatever you just saved. And now what you are going to see is you have a lot more tools over here than what you had in PIXLR X. And you also have layers that look a little different over here. This looks a lot more like Photoshop, okay? So when we use Photoshop either this year or next year, you're going to be a lot more familiar with it. So before we start doing any editing to this and chop out the background, we need to unlock this layer. So we're going to unlock it just by double clicking on the lock. The lock goes away. Now it is open and we're able to use it. So a couple tools over here which are really helpful is the marquee select, and it says it creates selections with the square and the circle tool selection, and then also the lasso tool. So we're going to start by the marquee select. So what the marquee select does, if you click and drag, it selects a certain area that you are clicking and dragging on. So for instance, if I want to remove all of this area of the background, I just selected it, and when I let go, I always call this my dancing ants because it's just little lines that like move around. If I hit the backspace or delete key on my keyboard, it removes that part of the background, and there is our checkerboard. So I could do the same thing over here, getting as close to the edge of that puppy's ear without going in and taking it off. So I'm just going to do this, let go, hit delete, come up here. Again, I want to get as close to the edge as possible, delete, and then that leaves us to use the lasso tool on all the rest. Now, I know a lot of you want to go in and use the eraser tool, which I'm not even sure what the eraser tool is, but the problem with the eraser tool is it does not select very well. Okay, what it'll do when you erase, actually, let me go up and select and deselect this. But when you go in and erase, actually, it's not even working. Maybe I have to make my brush size bigger. Sometimes it just looks too like powdery and it does not remove the way that we wanted it to. Yeah, I can't even get this to work for some reason. So again, don't use the eraser tool unless you absolutely have to. But you can zoom in on this puppy just by going up here. And then if you go over here, this is your arrange or your move tool. And then you can move to wherever you would like to go on your canvas here. So I'm going to go to like right over here, going to go over to my lasso tool, click on it, and then we see different types of lassos. So there's a free lasso, there is a Polygon lasso, which is personally my favorite, and I'll show you why in a few minutes. There is the Bezier, a little hard to say that. And then there is the magnetic. So I'm going to show you the Polygon lasso because this one I really like. If you just click on a certain point and then I'm letting go kind of, and I'm just clicking, 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 I'm just moving my finger along the trackpad. What I'm doing is tracing along this edge. Now I'm just going to get little bits and pieces or little chunks at a time in case I were to happen to mess up. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click, 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 and then I'm going to join this over here. So I might have to double click. There we go. Okay. Now when I let go, we see those dancing ants, meaning we just made a selection by using this polygon tool. Now if I hit delete on my keyboard, it removed that selection. And when I zoom out, it looks pretty good. Okay. You want to be zoomed in because if you are zoomed out, you're going to miss some stray pixels along the edge. Now, in order to go in and start getting the rest of this, you need to go up to select and then deselect just to take that selection away. And again, the more zoomed in you are, the better. Now I'm going to go back over to my arrange or my move tool, move that down so that I can see what I'm working with here. And then I'm going to go back to my lasso, back to my polygon, pick a point, click, click, click. I mean, I'm kind of going really close here to this edge. And I'm just clicking, 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 and then joining that point. When I join the points, we see the dancing ants. We let go. We zoom out, and we can see that's what it looks like. And again, every time you do that, you got to go up to select and then deselect. Go back up to your arrange and move that puppy back up. Okay. And then just zoom back in. Maybe scroll up over here. That's actually probably a better way of getting around. Just going like this. Go back to your lasso, go back to your polygon, click, click, click. It's very repetitive, very tedious, but it's really worth it in the end whenever you zoom out and you have a really clean looking cutout. Now, I will tell you that this takes a bit of practice. I did not get good at this overnight. So you're not going to get good by watching me clicking and doing this. You're going to get good at this by practicing and really getting the feel for your trackpad or your mouse or whatever it is that you are using. And as you keep doing this, you're going to get better and better with this. So for today, what I want you guys to do, pick a couple images from the internet, remove the background, okay? Play around with these tools a little bit. Save these images as PNG images when you are done. Zoom out, make sure it looks pretty good. Again, I still have a lot more cutting to do, but if I were done with this image, I would go to File, Save, and I would save it as a PNG. Now, what I would probably want to do is rename that to maybe Puppy Cutout so it doesn't get mixed up with the original puppy picture, and then download that so you have a before and you have an after. Now, as you start learning this, like I said, it will take a little bit of practice. You might get frustrated at times, but the only way you're going to get really good at this is if you keep practicing.